Hi, my beautiful friends. I'm Shayna Nerl, and I help people to step into their power and actualize radiant health of body, mind, and soul. And I want to just bring up a deep truth about what we're all going through right now, in case you have not already been feeling the intensity of your emotions during this time. I want to point out that not only is this a time of heightened emotions that we're all feeling because of the unknown, the fears that we're feeling around the current situation and the unknown future, but in addition, there's this other element that we can bring into our consciousness. And this other element is the fact that the current situation is slowing us down. We are most likely, if you're like me, we are used to doing. Our life is about doing, and we are busy all the time running from this activity to this meeting to this workspace, family, kids, all of these things. And the most healthy, balanced person is still to a degree, we have these distractions which will allow us very easily to become disconnected to ourselves. And so what's happening right now, as we are all basically forced to cease a lot of these regular activities that we are normally engaging in, now is the time where all of the inner emotions and things that we have not been dealing with, that we have been running away from, they are coming out. They are surfacing. And this is really an incredible opportunity for us to move into a space of profound healing of these things that we have not dealt with, that we've been running away from. Of course, there are plenty of things in our home that we can use to continue to run away, like the internet, food. Those are the two biggest ones. And so it still takes a decision to commit oneself to growth, a decision to use this time for healing, for connecting to oneself and healing the parts of ourselves that we have been running away from. So what I have been doing, and I would like to continue doing, is just encouraging you all to take some time every day to sit quietly, and you can begin to develop the ability to be more present with what you are feeling, what's going on in the inside, any intensities, emotions. We start just by becoming aware. So in the last meditation that I was leading you through, we were practicing following the breath. We were practicing noticing the thoughts and then detaching ourselves from the thoughts so that we are not being as affected by our thoughts. So now I just want to spend a couple of moments with a little taste of another technique where we can combine any of these techniques, usually we need to quiet our mind first, spend a few minutes following our breath, noticing our mind. So using those techniques I showed you in the last video. And then once we've reached a degree of feeling centered in ourselves, is when we can start to check in with how we're feeling. But what I'm going to suggest, that this practice of checking in with how we are feeling is a practice that is not a thinking practice. It is not thoughts about how we are feeling. In order to check in with how we are feeling in a much deeper way, we move away from the thoughts around the feeling, the thoughts that are generating the feeling, and we actually start to just feel our body and feel sensations in the body, and notice if there's any places where there's intensity of sensations, any stuck energy, any heaviness. And then we can begin to breathe into a place where we may feel something stuck or heavy. We breathe into it. We keep relaxing our body. And we keep shifting from the thoughts to the feeling. Even if we get some insight about the feeling, we want to keep returning to just the experience of the sensations of the feeling and follow it, because when we give it space as we're breathing into it and following it, that's when these emotions can really be in the way they were meant to be, and they eventually will work through and be released. Now, this can be a longer process that I take people through when there is real intensity, but it is great to just start by developing this and beginning ability, this muscle, this inner muscle of sitting with ourself, sitting with our feelings without reacting, without reaching to something, suppressing. So we just be with it. Now, for some people, this is too intense, so we'll keep working on this. I do help people who need guidance for more intense work on learning to really elevate these emotions and work through them. I work with people on this. I work with people on bringing radical physical healing into their life and healing issues around food, emotional eating, food addiction. All these things usually go together quite in a very intertwined way, but we all have usually one place that is our place to start with and focus on. So I really encourage you to embrace this time, seize this opportunity to do this work. And I will put a link below if any of you would like to speak more, if you need some more intensive support with your healing. Have a beautiful night, and try to go back to that last video meditation and then see if you can connect it with the practice I was just introducing, and I will be back soon with more.